The headpiece of the Staff of Ra from 1981's Raiders of the Lost Ark. A much sought-after bronze medallion that was originally designed as a means to reveal the location of the Ark of the Covenant. And it is used by the hero of the film, Indiana Jones, played by Harrison Ford, in the beautifully designed map room in the lost city of Tanis to discover the final resting place of the Ark of the Covenant in the Well of Souls. This beautifully designed prop is covered in an enormous amount of little details. But what few people know is that there's actually two separate designs seen on screen. The one design that we see most often is actually used for distance shots. The other was a more detailed version intended for close-up shots. Designed by sculptors Ron Punter and Barry Minot of Elstree Studios, Ron Punter's design was the first one, but Steven Spielberg didn't quite like the detail of it up close, so he had Barry Minot make a new one that was a little bit crisper, and you can see there's just a tiny bit more detail on one versus the other. But what about all of the markings and writing on the prop? Now, what it's all supposed to say is quite thoroughly explained in this scene with the Imam. He explains that it says that there is a warning from God, and it establishes the height of the Staff of Ra. Now, while it's implied in the movie that the writing on the piece is actually Egyptian, in reality it's a type of Hebrew. Related to ancient Phoenician, it is sometimes called Paleo-Hebrew. As far as the inspiration for the design of the headpiece goes, it is often attributed to these. A set of gold earrings discovered in the tomb of King Tutankhamun. Now, some of the more keen-eyed among you may have recognized that this is, in fact, the wrong color. It's not gold like the one you see on screen. And I might as well get it out of the way to say that this is a replica. This is not one of the original screen-used pieces. And the reason that it is this color is because this one is representative of a scene that is suggested in the movie but was never actually filmed. In the scene in the map room, we see all kinds of clues that the Germans had been there before. Of course, we know from early on that the Germans had a copy of the headpiece of the Staff of Ra because of this guy, Tote. But of course, they only have one side of it. And in the scene with the Imam translating the headpiece, we learn that there's a critical clue on the back, which leads Indy and Sala to realize
they're digging in the wrong place.
And this replica is what that represents. It's the German version of the headpiece of the Staff of Ra, which is suggested but never actually shown. Now, the fantastic replica prop maker, who just simply goes by the moniker Relic Maker online, created this and multiple other different variations of the headpiece of the Staff of Ra. And this was Relic Maker's idea of what it would have looked like had they filmed the scenes of the Germans getting it wrong. And on the back of this one, and I'm going to cover up the offending symbol, they made some supposition and determined that this might be what it looked like, with Belloc's signature on the back, or his name, and then Tanis 1936, and of course the Waffenamt, because the Germans love to put that thing on really everything. I'm pretty sure they put it on milk cartons. And I love how well Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark was made, that in that absolutely brilliant scene in the map room, there's no dialogue, but the entire story is right there, combined with magnificent cinematography, the minimal special effects that were used, the absolutely brilliant set building and prop building that was in there, and of course the magnificent music by John Williams, tells us this entire tale from the time Indy sets foot in the map room until he discovers the actual building where the Ark rests. And it's just this wonderfully beautiful scene, and I think honestly probably one of the best scenes in the entire film. Don't forget to like and follow. Thank you for watching. Props to history.